Chosen one, the price for what has been done to you has been paid. Gone are the dark days. Those who deserve it now stand before the judgment table. The story of those who despised, belittled, and betrayed you for years is melting away in the cruel light of divine justice. This is the beginning of your rebirth, with your faith and resilience that fueled the fire in your heart. This holy moment opens the door to the brightest period of your life. Now the power and grace of God are with you at every step. With every breath, you will feel the rebirth of the glory and honor you deserve. There is a power that erases the traces of betrayal and puts forth all its power to glorify you. This power fuels the fire within you. We have left behind the time when those who hurt you will have to answer not with humility, but with their own rotten judgment. With a heart full of strength and hope, take firm steps forward on the path of life. For every obstacle will shine as a turning point in your divine journey. Gathering the respect and love you deserve, walk towards the future. For your destiny is written in the house of those who enlighten hearts, not in the house of scoundrels and traitors. Write 77 in the comments now. In this new beginning, break the chains of the past and enjoy freedom and victory to the fullest. The weight of their decision now rests heavily upon them, a silent shadow that lingers no matter where they go. They believed casting you aside would be a passing moment, a choice without consequence. What they never foresaw was how profoundly the absence of your presence would alter their world. Once surrounded by validation, now they stand alone in the ruins of their deception. While they struggle with the emptiness left behind, you have only grown stronger, untouched by their schemes, rising beyond the reach of their misguided betrayal. Every act of betrayal is a conscious step, a door deliberately closed with no intention of ever being reopened. They stood at a crossroads, one path leading to integrity, the other to a fleeting illusion of belonging. Without hesitation, they took the latter, throwing away something that had taken years to build for the briefest moment of approval. They assumed loyalty was something easily replaced, that trust was nothing more than a commodity to be spent when convenient. But now they faced the truth. What they gave up was invaluable, and what they gained was nothing. They never stopped to consider what their choice would cost. The one who had been their refuge, their unwavering support, was cast aside as if they were insignificant. Perhaps they believed their actions would go unnoticed, or that kindness would make you too patient, too understanding to ever walk away. Perhaps they thought time would smooth over the damage, that apologies could be extended when the storm had passed. But certain lines, once crossed, cannot be redrawn. And they crossed this one willingly, without a second thought. With every whisper, every exchanged glance, they fed the flames of deception. They twisted reality to suit their needs, spoke your name in places it never belonged, allowed lies to spread in spaces where the truth had once stood firm. Some did it subtly, silence in moments that demanded a voice, a smirk at the expense of your dignity. Others were direct, attacks meant to tarnish your image, to align themselves with those who sought to undermine you. They were convinced it wouldn't matter, that your worth could be erased by their words. But they were wrong. There are presences in this world that cannot be erased, individuals whose energy lingers even when they are gone. They failed to see this in you. They assumed you were just another face, another moment in time that could be forgotten. But as the days pass, the emptiness grows heavier. They believed your absence would be a passing discomfort, but now they understand. Some voids can never be filled. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify His kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. Their decision seemed easy, effortless when they made it. But with every ticking second, the weight of it deepens. They had been so desperate for validation, for acceptance from those who offered nothing in return, that they gambled away something real for an illusion. The approval they once sought now rings hollow. The people they tried to impress have already moved on, leaving them stranded with nothing but the remnants of their betrayal. Meanwhile, you no longer stand in the wreckage, waiting to pick up the broken pieces. They once claimed to be your ally, laughing beside you, speaking of loyalty as though it were unshakable. But when the moment came to choose, their allegiance crumbled. Your name became nothing more than a tool, a bargaining chip for cheap acceptance. They turned against you, not because they despised you, but because their fear of exclusion outweighed their respect for you. Believing they could sever their connection to you and seamlessly integrate into another circle, they made their move, convinced that the void left behind would be insignificant. They assumed they could trade something genuine for something artificial, that belonging to the crowd would shield them from loneliness. But in the end, they were left with neither. They lost the only person who truly stood by them, and the ones they sought approval from, they never truly cared. The hunger for validation led them down a path they thought would grant them acceptance, but instead, it only revealed their own emptiness. They convinced themselves that sacrificing your trust would secure their place among those they admired, yet they failed to see the truth. These people never truly regarded them as valuable. In their frantic attempt to fit in, they discarded the one connection that was real. They traded sincerity for illusion, seeking approval from those who wouldn't even spare them a second thought now. The echoes of their choices now surround them, reminding them that they have lost the one person who genuinely cared. They believed their betrayal would open doors, that distancing themselves from you would elevate them. Instead, it became the weight that drags them down. The people they sought to impress never truly respected them, never saw them as more than a momentary amusement. But you saw them for who they really were. You recognized their fears, their struggles, their insecurities, the sides of them they kept hidden from the world. You never needed them to be anything but themselves. Yet when given the choice, they turned their back on the one person who stood by them through it all, hoping to gain the approval of those who wouldn't even notice if they disappeared. The full force of regret is now pressing down on them. The shallow acceptance they fought for has faded, and the only thing that remains is the stark reality of what they lost. They replay the past in their mind, reliving the moments when they made that fateful choice. Was it worth it? Was that fleeting sense of belonging worth the cost of losing something genuine? They know the answer, and it gnaws at them. No matter how much they try to silence it, the realization clings to them like a shadow, whispering the truth they wish they could ignore. The truth always finds a way to surface. No matter how carefully they try to cover their tracks, the weight of their actions cannot be buried forever. Maybe you called them out directly, forcing them to confront what they had done. Maybe it wasn't you at all. Perhaps their own web of lies unraveled, exposing them in a way they never anticipated. Either way, there is no escape from the reality they created. They were found out, and now they must live with it. At first, they did everything they could to shift the blame. They twisted the narrative, played the victim, and dismissed your reaction as an overreaction. They insisted it wasn't their fault, that you misunderstood, that it wasn't as deep as it seemed. But no matter how much they tried to disguise it, they knew exactly what they had done when they turned against you. When their attempts at denial failed, they chose another route: distance. They became a ghost, retreating into silence rather than confronting the weight of their own decisions. The one who once leaned on you for support, who laughed with you and shared their secrets, now avoids you at every turn. Their messages stopped. Their conversations became empty, and suddenly they were always too busy to talk. But you knew the truth. They weren't occupied with life. They were drowning in shame. For some, avoidance wasn't enough. Instead, they overcompensated, hoping to mask the tension with forced smiles and exaggerated kindness. They laughed too loudly at jokes, offered compliments that felt unnatural, and tried to pretend as though nothing had changed. But their guilt seeped through the cracks. Every nervous glance, every awkward pause, every unnatural shift in energy. Their desperation to prove that everything was fine only made it clearer that nothing would ever be the same again. There is no escaping the past they created. It clings to them, a constant reminder of what they destroyed. They hear your name and feel their stomach tighten. They see a glimpse of a memory, a trace of your presence, and the regret crashes over them like a relentless tide. They thought they could erase what happened, that time would dull the impact, but some wounds never fully heal. Still, their pride chains them down. They tell themselves it's too late, that there's no point in apologizing, that you wouldn't forgive them even if they did. They try to convince themselves that ignoring the issue is easier than facing you, easier than admitting that they threw something irreplaceable away. So, they carry this burden alone, avoiding places, avoiding conversations, avoiding even the thought of you, because to acknowledge you is to acknowledge their greatest mistake. The difference between you and them is simple. You don't need their apology to move forward. Their guilt, their silence, their regret, that's not your burden to carry. They are the ones who must live with the consequences of their actions. You've already freed yourself from it. You see the game for what it is. The system was never designed to be fair, but you were never meant to beg for scraps from a table that was never yours. You build your own, on your own terms. And while they remain stuck, paralyzed by the weight of their choices, you are walking into a future where only those who truly deserve your presence are allowed to follow. Their regret is theirs to bear, not yours. You've already given more than enough. Your time, your trust, your loyalty. Now, you owe them nothing. Not a second chance. Not a conversation. Not a place in your world. Imagine you are a mighty oak, standing tall on a hillside at sunrise, its deep roots drawing nourishment from a wellspring of divine love. Just as that oak, weathered by storms yet ever resilient, reaches upward with outstretched branches toward the promise of a new day, so too are you called to rise in grace and strength. Your life is like a gently flowing stream that, despite obstacles, carves its way through the landscape to meet a boundless ocean of blessings. In every moment, you are being nurtured and refined by the hand of the Almighty, who sees your worth and prepares you for a destiny of abundance and joy. While they remain trapped in their mistakes, you continue to grow. The road ahead belongs to you. And the people who walk beside you now are those who would never put you in a position to question their loyalty. You've learned the difference between those who see your worth and those who only recognize it after you're gone. Friends, take a moment to understand that every challenge you face, every setback you endure, is not a curse but a stepping stone on the path to prosperity. The missteps of others are like the fallen leaves that remain on the ground. They may have once been part of the tree, but they no longer hold the power to define its strength or its future. Brothers and sisters, when you reflect on the days of trial, remember that you are chosen by a loving Creator who not only sees your potential, but is actively shaping your future. You are not weighed down by the errors of those who could not see your light. Instead, you are propelled forward by the Spirit that dwells within you. Each day, the seeds of hope and resilience are sown in the fertile soil of your heart, blossoming into a harvest of blessings that will sustain you through the toughest seasons. Know this: the mistakes of others do not dictate your journey. Only the divine plan, crafted uniquely for you, can chart your course to success. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the super thank you button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. As you journey onward, consider that your growth is not accidental. It is the fruit of faith, nurtured by every trial and every triumph. The ones who doubted you, who allowed their own insecurities to bind them, now watch in silence as you ascend to heights they never imagined. They remain locked in a cycle of regret, bound by the chains of their poor decisions, while you, bathed in the light of divine favor, walk boldly toward a future filled with promise and purpose. Every step you take is a testimony to the enduring power of love and perseverance. You have learned, through the gentle whisperings of grace, that your worth is measured not by the fleeting opinions of others, but by the eternal truth of who you are in God's eyes. There are moments when the journey feels long, and the weight of past disappointments may seem too heavy to bear. But remember, even the mightiest river encounters rocks along its course, yet it does not stop flowing. Instead, it finds a way to navigate around obstacles, carving out a path of beauty and purpose. In that same way, you are continuously transforming your trials into triumphs, your setbacks into comebacks. The very challenges that once threatened to halt your progress have become the very fuel that drives your unstoppable momentum. Let every trial be a lesson, every hardship a blessing in disguise, as you move forward with unwavering confidence. Friends, I want you to understand that this journey is about more than just surviving the storms of life. It is about thriving in the radiance of God's eternal love. The laughter of those who now join you is genuine. They are companions chosen to walk beside you because they recognize the light you carry. They stand with you not out of obligation, but because they are drawn to the vibrancy of your spirit, the sincerity of your faith, and the deep reservoir of love that you share so freely. They are the kind of people who affirm your value every day, who lift you up when the night seems dark, and who remind you that you are destined for greatness. Reflect on the times when the world seemed to conspire against you, when every closed door only pointed you toward a door that would open with divine timing. Those moments were not punishments, but preludes to the abundant blessings that were to come. They were the universe's way of saying that your best days are ahead of you. And now, as you stand on the threshold of a new season, you can feel that transformative power stirring within you, a gentle yet firm reminder that your journey is guided by hands far greater than any earthly force. In the tapestry of life, every thread, whether bright or dark, contributes to the masterpiece that is your story. You have learned the profound truth that the voices of naysayers and the shadows of past misdeeds hold no power over the luminous future that God has designed for you. Their regrets are like echoes fading into the distance, while your spirit rises like the morning sun over a horizon full of hope. The beauty of your destiny lies in your ability to move forward, to embrace the future with open arms, and to let go of all that no longer serves your higher purpose. Let your heart be filled with gratitude for every experience, for each one has been a stepping stone toward the glorious destiny that awaits you. Celebrate the lessons learned, for they have endowed you with wisdom and the strength to overcome any obstacle. Embrace the abundance that is your birthright, knowing that you are cherished, valued, and destined for a life of prosperity and joy. The divine favor that rests upon you is a promise of endless possibility, a promise that every day brings new opportunities to grow, to love, and to be a beacon of light in a sometimes dim world. As you continue on this blessed journey, remember that every setback was simply a setup for a comeback. The burdens of yesterday do not define the vibrancy of today, nor do they constrain the limitless potential of tomorrow. Instead, they serve as a testimony to the remarkable resilience that lies within you. Your life is an open book, and every chapter written is a declaration of victory over the challenges that once threatened to hold you back. You have been chosen for greatness, and the divine has already paved the way for a future filled with promise, abundance, and unyielding joy. Imagine you're a mighty sunflower in a boundless field, its golden face ever turning toward the morning sun. Just as that sunflower instinctively reaches for the warm light that nourishes it, your soul is drawn to a higher calling, a divine favor that fills every fiber of your being. In the soft glow of dawn, as the world awakens to a new day, remember that you have been uniquely chosen for a purpose that transcends human understanding. Your life is like a rare treasure, polished by trials and enriched by God's everlasting grace. So let your spirit soar like a bird, freed from the confines of its cage, embracing the vast expanse of the sky that symbolizes the infinite love and mercy bestowed upon you. Walk forward with the assurance that every step is guided by a power greater than yourself, a power that transforms every trial into a triumph. In this journey, you are never alone. The light of the Creator shines upon you, illuminating the path ahead and dispelling all shadows of doubt or fear. Every day is a divine appointment, a fresh opportunity to receive the blessings that have been preordained for you. The struggles you face are not random afflictions. They are carefully placed stepping stones meant to refine your character and build your strength. Just as a river finds a way through rocky terrain, carving a beautiful course that ultimately leads to the vast, life-giving ocean, your challenges are shaping a future abundant with hope and success. Even when the road seems rugged, trust that the Master Builder is working behind the scenes, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. As you journey onward, let gratitude be your faithful companion. In every sunrise and every whisper of the wind, see the gentle reminder of God's favor. Give thanks for the lessons learned during times of hardship, for they are the very moments that mold you into a resilient and radiant beacon of light. Each day, as you awaken to new promises, allow your heart to overflow with appreciation for the blessings that continue to pour into your life. Know that you are enveloped in a love that is both unending and unconditional. In the company of kindred spirits who share your vision and uphold your worth, you find true companionship. These are the people who stand beside you with unwavering loyalty, who celebrate your victories and support you through every trial. Their presence is a testament to the reality that genuine connections, rooted in trust, respect, and mutual uplift, are the foundation upon which a prosperous life is built. Together, you form a community that radiates hope and inspires those around you to rise above adversity. Let your heart be filled with the joy of knowing that you are chosen, blessed beyond measure, and destined for greatness. Every step you take is infused with the energy of a power far greater than the trials of this world. The light of the Almighty continues to shine on you, guiding you toward a future where abundance, success, and unconditional love are not mere dreams, but living truths. In the calm assurance of this divine presence, fear loses its grip, and uncertainty fades into the brightness of purpose. As you move forward, hold fast to the promise that your life is a precious gift, an open book filled with stories of resilience, renewal, and unwavering faith. Embrace each new moment with the confidence that you are under the loving care of a Creator who has ordained every heartbeat and every breath. With courage in your soul and hope lighting your way, step boldly into the future that awaits, secure in the knowledge that every challenge is a prelude to a greater victory. May you always walk in the favor of the Almighty, with your heart steadfast in the truth that every trial transforms into a triumph, and every setback is a setup for an even greater comeback. Keep your eyes fixed on the horizon, for your destiny is bright with the promise of abundant blessings, endless love, and unyielding prosperity. Your journey is divinely guided, and your life is a testimony of the everlasting power of faith, hope, and the boundless grace that surrounds you. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed and let the light of the Lord guide your path. While they remain trapped in their mistakes, you continue to grow. The road ahead belongs to you, and the people who walk beside you now are those who would never put you in a position to question their loyalty. You've learned the difference between those who see your worth and those who only recognize it after you're gone. And so, with every breath and every step, you move closer to the destiny that has been written for you, a destiny that is rich in promise, overflowing with love, and defined by the abundant grace of the Almighty. May you always remember that you are more than the sum of your past. You are a radiant testament to the enduring power of hope and faith. Embrace your journey with confidence, knowing that every moment is a divine appointment, a chance to shine, to love, and to create a legacy that will echo through eternity. Your future is bright, your heart is strong, and your spirit is unbreakable. Keep pressing forward, for the best is yet to come, and the glory of God is unfolding in your life, in ways beyond your wildest dreams. Your time, your presence, your energy, it is no longer freely given to those who failed to appreciate it the first time. Some lessons are learned too late, and that is not your burden to carry. You are untouchable, you are thriving, and they are left only with the memory of what they lost.